Yo, what's up? This is Branch Dean of Avenue Cool Music. Welcome to the Avenue. You have just entered the cool zone, where the common denominator of bass is cool and the common denominator of funk is bass. Well. I know that it's been quite some time since I posted anything on my anything new on my social media accounts. Well, as of right now, this is what's going on in the cool zone. I'm currently back in studio working on two albums simultaneously with some songs that go back 10 years, some songs that I first wrote in 2009. And I'm going to be putting those songs, at least two of those songs, on one of the upcoming CDs that's going to be released. At least one of the two CDs is going to be released probably in the summer of 2019, with the other one following in maybe the summer of 2020, thereabout. So that's pretty much what's going on in the cool zone right now in terms of music production. And I'm also working on some new music that I have had ready for like maybe 2 or 3 years, ready for posting on my Reverb Nation media site, social media site. I just have not taken the time to put that music together yet because there's been so much going on, so many changes going on with my relocating from one area in Maryland to another, different transitions between my daytime job, a lot of different demands placed upon me that kind of took me away from the music scene. However, I'm excited about the opportunity to return back to the music scene this fall, 2018. Now, I've had some injuries that I've had to deal with as well, which I won't go into right now. But I've been studying the bass players from the 70s and the 80s. And, to say that I've been studying them is pretty much an understatement because those are the guys that have had the most influence upon me as a bass player. When you talk about Larry Graham, Louis Johnson, Mark Adams of Slave, and so on. One guy that stands out to me in particular has been Bernard Edwards of Chic. I don't even know where to begin in describing Bernard Edwards as a bassist. Some of the techniques that he has used, I have not seen duplicated by any of the other bassists. I'm particularly talking about the song "Everybody Dance," where he uses his thumb as a pick, and he plays octaves. It's just, I won't even attempt to do it because, it's just too time consuming of a technique to learn, And then he has songs that really are somewhat, I consider the standard for bassists, My Forbidden Lover, My Feet Keep Dancing, and so on. Savoir Faire. I've been working on the bass line of Savoir Faire. I've been playing that bass line for years. But my favorite bass line by Bernard Edwards is Warm Summer's Night. I don't know, it's just something about that bass line that's it's just so melodic, man. And it's just simply melodic, and that's a bass line that I've learned to play, and that's kind of the bass line that I've been using every day when I practice now. That bass line is a part of my practice routine along with Savoir Faire. The finger techniques that he uses, the string skipping and whatnot, and moving from one chord to the next on the neck of the bass guitar is just, it's just a smooth, melodious bass line, Warm Summer Night. And I'm going to be posting that bass line when I do my tribute to Bernard Edwards. I'm also, speaking of tributes, I'm also going to do a tribute to Louis Johnson as well. He's no joke as well when it comes to being a bass player. But I'll Be Good to You is a bass line that I learned by Louis Johnson by ear. Maybe when I first picked up the bass. It's a very simple bass line, but you have to make it work. And that's something that he's been very good at. Both these guys are deceased now, but they have left us the legacy of music and bass that we can use as a somewhat of a mentor to help us to become better bassists. Nevertheless, back to what's going on with me in the Cool Zone here. Like I said, I have two CD projects that I'm working on simultaneously. It may sound like it's an overwhelming task, but really it's not. I've had a lot of musical ideas on paper, and even going back to when I first had my recording deck was on audio cassette. Back 12 years ago. Ideas from 12 years ago, I'm still putting together. So, with new ideas that I'm coming up with today. So, yeah, I'm just hoping I can have the success with these two CDs, and I'm sure that I will, that I had with the Cool One CD, because I began with the Undaunted CD, and it's not the best production because it's my first CD, and I was tinkering, learning how to master and so on. And that CD, if you listen to it, you'll notice that my productions got better as time went on. And then came along the Ride CD, which is something that just came together like magic, man. And then the Cool One CD, everything, the audio, everything is pristine that's the best way that I can put it with the Cool One CD. So I'm anticipating really big things with the next two CDs that's coming out. One of them is entitled Getting On, and the other one is titled New Persona Branch Dean. So that's all for this update in the Cool Zone here at Avenue Cool Music. Stay tuned for more. Later. Yo, what's up? This is Branch of Avenue Cool Music. Welcome to the avenue. You just entered the Cool Zone, where the common denominator of bass is cool, and the common denominator of funk is bass. Visit us at www.avenuecool.com and purchase original music and merchandise. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.